Hi Navigators, this is going to be mostly a voiceover because I want to show you the recipes that I actually use and how I manipulate them to fit my needs. So several years ago, I took a cooking class in Chicago because I just wanted to learn how to use different ingredients that I wasn't comfortable with or even knew about. So I used a couple of food delivery systems. I used this one and I've also used this one only because those were the ones that were able to fit my eating needs a little easier. I wouldn't have to change out every ingredient, but let me show you what I do to change out some of the ingredients. So let me remind you that I cannot have grains, which is wheat, rice, oats, or corn. And if you look at this ingredient list, I can tell you here that most everything I can have. So this recipe is actually a good one for me. However, my husband and I don't like ground turkey. So anytime anything calls for ground turkey, we change it out to ground chicken. We also try and keep our meat lean. So we rarely ever eat beef unless we're going to eat like a yummy steak. But we save the ground meat for ground chicken. So that's the only thing that I would switch out there. Now, I'm actually having this recipe today. So it's called turkey chili. However, you know, since I said it's going to be called chicken chili. And over here, I cannot have kidney beans because they are high in histamines, and I have a histamine intolerance issue as of right now. I'm working on that, so hopefully I won't have that for very long. And they just run my histamine up. So I stay away from beans, and I switched out when I'm working in chilies with a butternut squash. Or I could even use zucchini, but I usually like butternut squash, or a sweet potato is even good here. Then I switch out the ground turkey for ground chicken. And my husband tries to, eat a little less fat. So we switch out the sour cream for yogurt, a plain yogurt. Sometimes we'll even use like a lactose-free cottage cheese because lactose is another little thing that bothers my stomach. So I try and stay away from that as much as possible. So let me go through some of my recipes. Now, what I've done is, so you can kind of see how long I used this delivery system. It was probably a couple of years. And I saved all the recipes so that I'm able to remind myself some of the things that we liked, some of the things that we did. I write on my recipes, so if you don't like that, sorry. But I want to keep notes. You'll see sometimes I've written on them. Now, this is a really good example because I cannot obviously eat spaghetti, right? But I can eat spaghetti if it comes from Italy, directly from Italy. So let me show you the brand that I use. Now, bear with me here because I'm in the pantry closet. This is the brand of Italian pasta that I use. It's 100% Italian grain. And y'all, I can eat this without any problem. No gastrointestinal anything, no bloating, no allergic reaction that I get, like when I have gluten items here in the US. And when I go to Europe, I don't have any problem. I can eat anything I want there. So I'm letting you know that there's a place called Pinocchio's Pantry that you can order straight from the pantry online, and it's all Italian, 100% Italian grain. So check that out. We can put it in the notes. So here is a recipe that uses rice, and I can't have rice. But what I do instead of rice is I replace the rice with cauliflower rice. And I actually cook it on the stovetop and use olive oil, and I actually let it sit there without turning it over for a little while and let it get like a toasted look, and it gives me more of a consistency of the rice that I like, and it's not mushy. So you can see I pretty much can do everything here. Let's look back at the ingredient list. The jasmine rice would be cauliflower rice. Carrots are good for me. Bok choy is good for me. I like cilantro. Some people don't, but I would get the cilantro, the cloves, the lime. Sometimes when your histamine is really bad, the lime can actually aggravate that. So just leave it off because actually it's just a little taste of it at the end of it. So you don't need that. The sweet chili sauce. Now, if you buy that in the store, you have to be careful for corn syrup. If you are allergic to corn, I am allergic to corn, so I can't have any corn starch, corn syrup, nothing. So what I usually do is I make this, and I will just find a quick recipe online that's a gluten-free one, and then I put it together, and you all, it really is made out of most things you have in your kitchen already. And then the soy sauce, I use the tamari soy sauce. It's gluten-free. So see, I don't really miss out on anything. Now, I like to keep my sugar levels low, so I would omit the honey. It's not necessary for me. It still tastes good without it. You can go with it or with not. So you can see how I kind of take the recipes and make them my own. Now, sauce is very good. Apparently, I really liked it the last time. So let's look and see what's in that sauce. So we've got, I'm just going to look at sauce. So it's sriracha is good. It's a spicy. A ponzu sauce, again, always has gluten in it. So what I do is I find something online that can be replaced with it. And usually I just ask Google, what is a gluten-free replacement for ponzu sauce? Again, I would omit the honey. The miso paste here is gluten-free, which was nice. But usually if it's not, I just omit the miso paste. I use the tomato juice, that's fine. Chopped ginger is fine. Shrimp and zucchini and green onions, so all that's fine. But it's just learning what can be replaced and what would actually make it taste yummy with or without it. And sometimes it's just trial and error, you all. You just got to go with it. And my husband pretty much eats anything I put on the table, so I don't have to worry about that. It's mostly just me and what I like to eat. And if it tastes good to me, it's fine. So this one is the teriyaki sriracha chicken stir fry. Teriyaki, definitely, right away, I'm like, that's going to have gluten in it. So I would make my own teriyaki sauce using the tamari soy sauce. I would find a quick little online safe recipe for myself. And let's look in here and see what I would change here. I would change the rice to the cauliflower rice. I would omit the wonton strips, keep the sriracha, change the teriyaki glaze to a quick one that I can make at home, keep the zucchini, and go with the boneless chicken. So just a couple of ingredients I would have to change there. My point in showing you this is that just because there's something in the meal that you can't eat doesn't mean that you can't eat the whole meal. You just got to change it up. And that goes for restaurants as well, okay? While you're there, look around at the vegetable sides that they offer and use those as your fillers for some of the things in your chosen item that you can't have. And they usually have no problem with that. I have not really ever had somebody who had an issue with that. Here's a good example of one where I just completely leave the noodles out. I like triple the vegetables here. And we have like a vegetable and shrimp meal. So here, let's look at that. Sriracha's good. Bell pepper's good. Snap peas is good. I would actually double the bell peppers, double the snap peas, double the shrimp, because we like a lot of meat. But I would even double the slaw. Completely leave out the noodles, and the oyster sauce is definitely going to have gluten in it. So I would find something that I like better or find a quick little recipe online. If I can't make it at home, then you know what? Tamari sauce it is, okay? So I just use the soy sauce all over it. I mean, how can you go wrong with that? Let me know what you think in the comments. This is so helpful for people who really are confused or overwhelmed by what they need to do to make recipes fit for them. One more before we go. Anytime something calls for a taco, I can't eat taco shells and I can't eat tortilla shells. So I replace those with the bid lettuce and I have my little taco that way. So, there are ways to do it. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments and we can get that information out to you.